Hi friends, it's been a minute since I've been live in here, and about 30 minutes ago I shared a post with some shampoo, the OGX brand from Johnson & Johnson, and some lawsuits, and sometimes I share those things and they don't get a lot of shares. This one instantly started to get a lot of traction, and when I see stuff kind of being shared out like that, what I notice a lot is when I see other people's comments or even comments on my own, there's this sense of like, ugh, everything's bad for me. Like, I'm going to die. Why even bother? And I totally get that. And so I wanted to just talk a little bit on that. I've done podcasts on this. I've written blogs about this. I try to address this a lot because I experienced this a lot in my journey. For those of you who don't know me, I was in the health and fitness and nutrition worlds for I guess about 13, 14 years. That was my whole life, my whole career, my whole passion. Before I ever had even the slightest idea that my deodorant and makeup and Glad air fresheners were bad for me. So as you can imagine, dedicating my life and being in a career dedicated to health, and then finding out that my home was full of products that were damaging to my health, like, it was a big shock. But like most people, I was like interested, like, okay, well, surely there's some alternatives. And this was 6-7 years ago when I started that process. Long before there was the accessible information that there is now, and long before there were as many products and companies that were sort of fighting to be non-toxic. So the good news is, the bad news is, yes, it can be overwhelming and it can be shocking and it can be like, oh my gosh, where do I even start? Everything's bad. I've been lied to. Everything's a lie. You're valid for feeling that way. The good news is it's not as hard as you think. And the reason I created this group and the reason I do everything that I do is I try to take all of my time, energy, and research that I dedicate, because this is what I do as a professional in the whole health space. Like, this is my work, and condense it down into easy nuggets for you guys to just make clean swaps. So you don't have to spend hours upon hours and weeks upon weeks studying and researching and looking at sources and reading research papers and studies and chemistry and all of that. I try to do that for you guys. That is why I also find certain brands, either companies that I've created myself for quality products, or I align with brands like Beauty Counter and stand behind them. And then there's other brands that I'm not affiliated with in any capacity, like financially. I'm not a rep for them. I'm not, it's not my company. And I still stand behind them, because once I find companies that I believe in, that I see are dedicated to the same mission and core values that I am, I can put my trust and faith in them. They're not going to be perfect. They might change. They might pivot. They might make a mistake and have not the most perfect ingredient, or new research might come out. But I look at the heart of a company and what is their core mission and what are they really trying to create. Companies like Beauty Counter and my company, Zen in a Bottle, they care about changing the industry and educating and really empowering consumers with knowledge and information, and then giving them products that they can trust across the board. The reason I love Beauty Counter is because they have over 1,800 different ingredients that are known to be toxic and harmful that they will not put in their products. That's a lot of ingredients, you guys, that are in nearly every other makeup, skincare, shampoo, baby product line on the market today. So that alone tells me, hey, if they're innovative enough to not use 1,800 different ingredients that other companies are, and they're lobbying in Washington and creating new rules and petitioning for new guidelines in the beauty industry for safety, that means they care. Like, they didn't have to do that. Like, nobody came along and forced them to do that. Same with my company. Like, we don't have to pay extra money to get lab analysis and tests for heavy metals and to make sure every single ingredient we use is certified organic and ethically sourced and all of that. Like, we don't have to do that. We could create some crappy bogus product like every other company and go out and sell it at gas stations if we wanted to. That didn't align with my values and what I cared about. I wanted to create good quality plant medicine and healthy non-toxic solutions to things like body odor, like my deodorant that I created. So I just wanted to say all that. I know this kind of sounds like a pitch to Beauty Counter and everything else, but I want that to actually be encouraging to you guys, because again, when you look at certain companies and you see what they stand for, once you kind of follow their lead and you look at their products, there's a couple companies, and I have Amazon list. I have plenty of companies, again, that I'm not affiliated with in any way. But once I'm on board with them, I know, okay, if I need a toothpaste, this company creates a toothpaste and I trust what they do. If I need a shampoo, Beauty Counter creates that and I already trust what they do. So it makes it a lot easier to make your swaps. When you stick with a couple companies, you know, you trust them, you follow their work, you see what they stand for, and then it's just a matter of picking one thing at a time and swapping out. So, for example, if you're a woman and you use makeup and shampoo and, skincare stuff and lotion and perfume and all of that, that's just in your bathroom, start there. Don't worry about your dish soap right now or your laundry detergent right off the bat. Or if you have little kids and maybe they're having skin allergies, like maybe you do want to start with your laundry department first and look at, switching out your laundry detergent, getting rid of fragrance, especially if anybody in the house has allergies and headaches and migraines. Make fragrance your number one thing to get rid of. Try to pick like one thing first and just make a swap. Another method is the next time you run out of something, no matter what it is, just commit to trying to find a healthier version of that. So instead of buying Glad plugins or Glade, whatever it is, maybe it's Glade, to freshen up your house, you invest in an essential oil diffuser. And again, the unfortunate thing is there is something called greenwashing where companies are catching on to the idea that consumers want healthier products. So they're putting these labels and these terms that are basically tricking consumers. So you do have to be careful with that because companies are definitely sly like that. But on my Amazon list and everything in this group, there's literally nothing that you could be searching for that I haven't already researched and vetted for myself, for clients, or for people in this group. So ask a question. If you don't see it in the group, search the group. You can reach out to me personally, but try to keep it in this group so that other people can see. I will help you find it. I'll happily look at some options. I'll look at ingredients and be like, hey, no, don't go that direction. Like that's what this group is here for, is to support, educate, and empower. Invite your friends. Tell them the reason that companies got away with what they got away with for so long is because nobody knew any better. No, like everyone was just like, okay, fragrance, cool. Like we had no information. Knowledge is so powerful now because like our dollars vote. Every single time we spend money somewhere, we're creating change. So we're creating a completely different future for the next generation by educating and sharing this information and then consciously making different choices. So this stuff is really important. Again, it can be overwhelming, but communities like this one are meant to empower you and to educate you and to help you make those little changes at a time. And they do add up. If you're 30, 40, 50 years old and you've spent your whole life around toxic products, you don't want to pull them out all at once anyway, because your body might be like, it goes into detox overload. So you want to kind of do things gradually. Same with supplements. You don't want to add in 30 different supplements all at once. Like you got to kind of give yourself some time and space to navigate these changes. So be compassionate with yourself. It's not a race. Find good communities and resources like this one. Again, that's what it's here for. Find companies that you know are dedicated to health and like walk the walk on it. My company, I can say 100% is that. If anybody's followed me for any amount of time, they've seen the work and effort that I've put into my products and my development. The companies that I stand behind, to the best of my knowledge, do the same thing. And just take it step by step, day by day, little swaps. It all adds up. It all matters. Don't get stressed out. Don't be obsessive. Like if I go to a restaurant, I like to bring my own water. If I have to drink tap water, I also am like adamant about our thoughts and emotion affecting our health as well. So I don't teach this stuff from a paranoia, fear-based mindset of, oh my gosh, like don't use the hotel shampoo. It has toxins in it. You have to be able to live life and experience life and be flexible. And your mindset around that matters. So you can make really profound changes that impact your health, and they don't have to be intense, overwhelming, all at once or daunting. So I just wanted to come on and give this message. Again, hopefully it encourages you. It kind of gives you some trust and confidence in this space, the resources that you have here, what we're all about, and reassures you that, hey, it doesn't have to be everything all at once. Take your time, spend some time in here asking questions, learning, reading the materials and stuff, and you'll do great. So welcome to the group if you're new, and I hope this encouraged you a little bit if you're new to your toxin-free journey. That's all for now.